Hello, and thanks for joining us on the program. I want to say thanks to James Green for hosting the show over the last few weeks. What a beautiful day to be outside. A fall day with all the changing colors, and the Woodshop recording studio just up the street here, north of Duncan. We're going inside to meet tenor Ken Lavigne and the boys in the band. Thanks for joining us on Go Island, Cowichan Valley. On today's show, new media and postcards from the past, and the talents gathered at Woodshop Recording Studio. All that and much more on Go Island, Cowichan Valley.
Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight.
Wonderful traditional Christmas music from Ken Lavigne and the band. We're at the Woodshop Recording Studio, and it is just great to spend time with you, and amazing that you're back home because you just came back from a very big tour. Tell us about the tour, first of all, Ken.
Well, we've been crisscrossing the continent pretty much. We started on Ontario, then went down to Georgia, and then South Carolina, and then back over to Eugene, Oregon, then up to Saskatoon, and then down to Ohio. It's been a very, very hectic few weeks, but we're really happy to be back.
Well, I'm really glad you made time for us, and you're still looking really refreshed because you just literally got off the plane. But I want to talk about the fact that Comfort and Joy is coming out right in time for the Christmas season, and there were some stops and starts along the way. You've said that this is a huge leap forward for me. Now, I think, wow, you've been in Carnegie Hall. What could beat that? Why is it such a huge leap?
Well, when I say it's a huge leap forward for me, I think it's more the technical and the artistic coming together. It's a very ambitious project. We decided that we wanted to bring in more elements of the symphony into my recording, so we recorded at the Port Theatre in Nanaimo, a beautiful facility with the Vancouver Island Symphony, and really that was a very ambitious leap for me. From a producer standpoint, because generally I like to keep things a little bit tighter and closer and smaller in number.
Right.
So that was a huge leap forward in terms of taking that on. And then we have all original arrangements of these classic Christmas tunes, which was also, something that we wanted to make sure that we put our own stamp on these pieces.
And let's talk about the guys that are putting a stamp on these pieces along with you, your bandmates. This is sort of a teaser tester. Obviously, we don't have the entire orchestra in the room today, but tell us about the guys.
Well, the guys, I've known Casey for years, and Casey, my bass player, he also doubles on guitar. Casey Ryder's a fantastic bandmate and tour partner to go out on the road with. And Patrick Courtin, who's a fabulous jazz pianist, and he's embraced this classical crossover style with a lot of gusto, and I've worked with him for about a year, and it's been a lot of fun. Now, Jitan Bierstro is, well, he's new to the band, and it's a bit of a baptism by fire. His first actual tour out was just last week, and I'm not entirely sure if, I think there was a little bit of head scratching as this is how it all comes together, but he's been great to work with, and yeah, a lot of fun.
That's great. Now, this facility is fabulous too, Woodshop Recording Studio, just north of Duncan. We're in front of the quadratic diffusers. Zach made me mention that. We're going to meet the engineer a little later on, but it's a great facility.
Yeah, well, we it was actually Zach who really inspired me to take on this extra level of challenge, because you really need to push yourself out of the comfort zone, and Zach was we'd had a really successful working partnership on a previous recording, and I thought, let's keep it going. And to be in this space is really quite a luxury. You don't often get that, if you're recording in someone's basement or studio or something.
That's for sure. Now you're going to be moving all around the island. You've got quite a tour planned. It's all starting with the CD coming out at the very beginning of November, November 1st. That's really exciting because it's been a road of about, what, year and a half or so?
Yeah, pretty much. We had an ambitious recording schedule set out for last year, and then in the middle of it, I got really sick. And it's just, you know, one of the problems with being a vocalist is that if you're a little bit sick or you have the sniffles, everything goes through those microphones.
Yeah, right.
And as a result, you know, we decided that we had to sort of pull the plug about midstream and then take it up a few months later.
Yeah, well, there's some really exciting things coming up in your future with an eye on the Sydney Opera House as well. We're going to talk a little about that. We're going to also meet the engineer. We're going to have some more wonderful music with you in a really healthy state right now as we continue with the show for now, and we'll be back shortly.
Up 1 to 92.
That's just crazy time.
It's said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you.
Do you want that chord at the end?
Yeah, sure, that's great.
We'll take a bit of a quick break right now, but when we come back, when was the last time you sent someone a postcard? It's like an old-fashioned form of social media, and postcards have helped to preserve our past. So a local historian looks at Victoria then and now in a book called Postcards from the Past, coming up after the break.
Tonight we pray for what we know can be, and every day we hope for what we still can see. It's up to us to be the change, and even though this world needs so much more, there's so much to be thankful for.
It is perfect timing to be listening to this fabulous music coming out of Woodshop Recording Studio. I'm here with Ken Lavigne and Zach Cohen, and Ken's brand new CD, Comfort and Joy, is going to be released on November 1st. Ken, we just heard a David Foster tune that is, of course, more modern, but in general, what does the CD contain?
Well, generally speaking, I like to draw from a wide variety of music and repertoire, but these are all classics, really in their own right. And so some of the music is going to be obviously familiar classic tunes like I'll Be Home for Christmas or the Christmas song, Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire. But also I grew up listening to all of those great Christmas hymns like Oh Holy Night, which is one of my favorites, and Silent Night. So there's a variety that really highlights and showcases the versatility of my voice, the tenor voice, and that was something that I really wanted to put front and center in this album. Yeah.
Well, everyone who has a fabulous voice needs a fabulous engineer, and here he is, Zach Cohen. Now, you've known each other for a while, and I understand, Zach, it was you that kind of said, go big or go home.
Well, Ken and I have worked together a few times. We did a CD here a few years ago that was very quick and easy and just a lot of fun to make. And when we started talking about doing a Christmas CD, we thought it would be fun to do something a little bit bigger. And Ken's got a great spirit of adventure, I'll give him that. And yeah, we decided if we're going to do an orchestral sounding CD, we're going to do it right. And it was a real exciting and interesting process.
And working in the Port Theatre, everybody says it's just fabulous acoustically and so on, but what was it like from an engineer's point of view?
Well, I've had the pleasure of working in the port quite a bit with the Vancouver Island Symphony and various other jobs, and it's always a fantastic room, especially for classical music, just designed to have an orchestra on that stage in that room, and the staff was great to work with, just a real good experience.
So we're not all aware of what it's like in your industry, but laying complexities on and recording live, I mean, those are two things that I just think, wow, why do you need those challenges? Why do you want those challenges?
Well, there's an intangible difference between a live orchestra in a great room and some sounds that were created in a studio by electronic means. And sometimes you can fool somebody with the ones in the studio, but they will never be great the way the sound of an orchestra in a great room is.
Right. And tell us about some of the other folks that you've worked with. Woodshop's been here how long?
I've been in this location now for about 15 years, and I work lots here, obviously in the studio, but I do a lot of location recording as well. I work with the Naden Band in Esquimalt and the Vancouver Island Symphony in the port. I've done, dozens of rock bands, and probably the most of what I do is singer-songwriters, right. Producing CDs and hiring players and bringing people's art to life.
Fabulous. And you still have your hearing?
I do, yes. Apparently, yeah, people keep hiring me, so I must be able to hear something.
That's great. So, Ken, we're going to be featuring another great traditional Christmas song, Away in a Manger, which features your daughter.
That's right. On the recording, we have it was a bit of a lark and a bit of an experiment, and I realized that this is really a child's lullaby, and I was singing away, and we were trying to record it and make it sound right, and I thought there's something missing, and I went to my wife and asked her, do you think this would be a good idea? Do you think she'd be into it? And Gracie piped up and said, absolutely, she wanted to be part of it. So it was still an experiment, but it was amazing. She taught me so much of how to just stand in front of that microphone and deliver, because I'm the type that just has to micromanage every moment. So I learned a lot from that experience.
The cattle are lowing, the poor baby wakes, but little Lord Jesus no crying he makes. I love thee, Lord Jesus, look down from the sky and stay by my side until morning is nigh.
When we come back, James hits the streets to find out how people communicate and how they receive media content. Wonder if he'll find anyone off the grid. We're at Woodshop Recording Studio. I'm delighted that Ken Lavigne has time back from Ohio to BC, and the CD is coming out very soon on November 1st. And Ken, I know you've got a busy touring schedule. Where will you be touring?
Well, we'll be first in the Cowichan Valley here, doing a couple of shows, one in Duncan, one in Shawnigan Lake, and then we go to Northern Ontario to do an extensive tour, and then back to the island, back to BC for Christmas.
That's great. And December 8th at the Royal Theatre in Victoria. I know that date is fixed in my head. Yeah,
December 8th is going to be a really special show. We're going to be playing basically the entire Christmas album with a full symphony orchestra and children's choir, the BC Boys Choir. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, what a wonderful festive concert that will be. I do want to talk about the fact that many times you've talked about following your dreams. You used to be in construction and then decided, I'm just going to make singing my life and full time. And then you had these dreams, one to go to Carnegie Hall, you pulled it off. Now the next one is to go to the Sydney Opera House. These are not easy goals. What drives you?
Well, I realized at some point that if you have a dream, you have to be brave enough to speak that dream out loud and hold yourself accountable, and that takes a lot of courage. For me, I realized also that if you have a dream, and the bigger it is, it seems unlikely and counterintuitive, but the more likely that it's going to happen, you know, and it's especially if you're committed 100%.
Yeah, well, that's a very true statement. Now, it takes belief and commitment, but it also takes a pretty good funding source. So will there be a lot of fundraising going on?
Well, yeah, every one of these shows, obviously a little portion is going to go towards the dream of singing at the Sydney Opera House. We'll be starting an Indiegogo campaign, crowdfunding sources, and then, of course, the album, the big CD. We're pushing it really hard, and we know that my fans will really like the music that's on there. So fingers crossed, it'll all come together.
Ken Lavigne is scheduled to sing at the Sydney Opera House in Australia on October 26, 2015. Meantime, he continues to juggle his busy touring schedule and family life. His son and 2 daughters are all featured in his newest CD, to be released on November 1st.
Obviously, family is really important to me, and I'm very fortunate to have a wonderful partner, my wife, who is just absolutely amazing and has supported me and supported this whole endeavor. And we realize that as a family, we're a team, and pushing towards our individual goals, we work together.
And the kids still sing. The
kids still sing. They love to sing, and it's actually I don't know how to describe the emotion when something that's so important to you, singing is to me, and you see it reflected in your children. And I mean, it's just what a gift.
Ken Lavigne's CD, Comfort and Joy, will be released on November 1st. His concert in Shawnigan Lake is on November 7th. He will perform on November 8th in Duncan and on December 8th at the Royal Theatre in Victoria. All details can be found at his website, kenlavigne.com. Thanks for joining us on Go Island, Cowichan Valley. And don't forget, we love your story ideas. We've had some of the best ideas from people in the Cowichan Valley. But you'll notice our show is changing slightly. We're happily sharing stories from other parts of Vancouver Island and Victoria, as well as the Cowichan Valley. Hope to see you next time.
Women's clothing provided by Tulip Noir. Casual designer fashions. Men's wardrobe by DG Bremner & Co. Menswear and accessories. Hair services provided by Salon J.